First of all, we shall see why do humans come together and agree to be under a common political system, a common government that govern them. Why? There must be a common interest, a common cause to do that, right?
Right.
In the Vedic system, this common cause is very well planned and with a purpose. We shall be talking about that first.
Right.
In the founding document of ISKCON, the nth point that Prabhupada has given is among the secondary objectives of society, it shall undertake the following activities. Number one, to revive the scientific system of social orders of classification based on intelligence, martial spirit, productivity, and common assistance, generally known as the four castes, with the reference to quality and worth for the common cause of the world society, the common cause. That is Vedic system, to control the masses of people in classification. The intelligent class, the administrative class, the productive class, and the worker class, and less than them. And in their respective position, if they cooperate for the common cause, that becomes a perfect society. To keep the society in order, they must be educated according to their capacity, and they should be engaged for a common benefit, and that is required, the common cause.
But if society is divided into different groups, won't there be envy?
No. Just as in my body there are different parts that work together, so society can have different parts working for the same goal. My hand is different from my leg, but when I tell my hand, bring a glass of water, the leg will help. The leg is required and the hand is also required.
But if we make any kind of classes in the society, the social classes keep fighting. For example, the capitalist class are fighting with the communist class.
Oh, because they are not trained up. They have no common cause. The hand and the leg work differently, but the common cause is to maintain the body. So if you find out the common cause for both the capitalists and the workers, then there will be no fighting. But if you do not know the common cause, then there will always be fighting.
Oh, then the most important thing is to find a common cause that people can unite on.
Yes, just like in our Krishna consciousness society. You come to consult Prabhupada about every activity because Prabhupada can give you the common cause. Otherwise, there will be fighting.
And what is that common cause?
The ultimate goal of life, the aim of life. The aim of life is the common cause. What else could it be? The government should be very expert to know the aim of life, the common cause. And they should train the people to work for the common cause. Then they will be happy and peaceful.
But what is that ultimate goal or aim of life in specific?
The ultimate goal of life is to please Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. The uncivilized man or materialistic person, however, does not know the aim of life. Nate vidum swarthagatim Vishnu. One's real self-interest lies in satisfying Vishnu. A civilization that does not know the highest aim of life is no better than animal society. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Nate vidum swarthagatim Vishnu, human society is meant for elevation to spiritual knowledge so that all the people can be freed from the kalashas of birth and death, old age and disease. The aim of life is Vishnu. Nate vidum swarthagatim Vishnu. Everyone works very hard to earn money, but no one knows that his real self-interest is in serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one gets captured by sexual attraction, he becomes implicated in so many ways and cannot understand the real aim of life. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nate vidum swarthagatim hi Vishnu. Generally, people do not understand the ultimate goal of life. As stated in Vedas, Om Tat Vishnu Param Padam Sada Pashyanti Surya. Those who are spiritually advanced simply look at the lotus feet of Vishnu. The conditioned soul, however, not being interested in developing his relationship with Vishnu, becomes captivated by material activities and remain in everlasting bondage, being misled by so-called leaders.
What is the logic behind pleasing Vishnu?
You see, Behind the material laws is the supreme controller, Krishna. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Therefore, if one surrenders to Krishna, mamayeva ye prapadyante mayamitam parantite. Therefore, if one surrenders unto Krishna, one immediately be freed from the control of external nature. Sagunan samatitani brahma bhuyaya kalpate. This should be the aim of life.
Oh, I see.
The modern civilization, they are missing one point, the aim of life, scientifically. The aim of life is self-realization, Atma Tattvam. It is said, Parabhavastavad abodhjatah yavan na jidnyasa Atma Tattvam. Unless the human society comes to the point of self-realization, whatever they are doing, they are being defeated. Parabhava. First of all, people should know what is the aim of life, what is the culture, how the human activity should be directed. The people should know first of all this. Otherwise, changing from frying pan to the fire is useless. That is going on. That change, revolution is going on. Just like the Russian people. They changed the caste government into communist government. Revolution, but still they are unhappy. They are trying to change by another revolution. This is going on. Punah punascharvita charvananam. This is described in the Shastras as chewing the chewed, or the same simple philosophy. This side of stool is better than the other side. So he keeps the whole thing stool. This side, the dry side, is better than the moist side. Wet side is bad. This is not philosophy. It must not be stool. It must be gold. Then it is all right. This side or that side. That philosophy that the dry side of the stool is better than the wet side, that will not help. So first of all, human society must know what is the aim of life. Because Vishnu is the root of everything. If Vishnu is pleased, everyone is pleased. In particular, one's children, family members become happy in all respects. Not satisfying Vishnu, but instead attempting to become happy through material adjustment, Bahirarthamanina, is wrong way for happiness. Because Vishnu is the root of everything. If Vishnu is pleased, everyone is pleased. In particular, one's children and family members become happy in all respects. The communists are concerned with adjusting material things, which can actually never be adjusted. They imagine that they can solve the problem, but ultimately their plans will fail. Maya is very strong. In the name of philanthropy, altruism, and communism, people are feeling compassion for human society, humanity throughout the world. Philanthropists and altruists do not realize that it is impossible to improve people's material condition. Material condition are already established by superior administration according to one's karma. They cannot be changed. The only benefit we can render to the suffering being is to try to raise them to spiritual consciousness. Material comfort cannot be increased or decreased. It is therefore stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Tallabhyate dukkha vadanta sukham. As far as material happiness is concerned, that comes without effort, just like tribulations come without effort. Material happiness and pain can be attained without endeavor. One should not bother for material activities. If one is at all sympathetic or able to do good to others, he should endeavor to raise people to Krishna consciousness.
But why? I thought that ruling is there so that government help in people's in becoming materially prosperous, increase their standard of living, economic development, and everyone can be happy. And here you say that it is not possible for the government. Look at the communist. Everyone gets equally. Aren't they happy?
No.
Why? Can you explain more?
You see, in material world, everyone is working. Somebody is getting per hour thousands of rupees, and somebody is getting not even a morsel of food. But still, one has to be satisfied. Because one is getting thousands of rupees per hour, I will have to get also. No. Then you will never be happy. You be happy what you are gaining. Because everyone is making profit and losing according to his past karma. Purva janmarjitam dhanam, purva janmarjitam vidya, agre dhavati dhavati. This is Shastric injunction. One man is trying with a little capital to do some business, and within few years he becomes very multimillionaire. And one man is trying to elevate himself to a prosperous condition, but he cannot get even sufficient food. Why? Purva janmarjita vidya, purva janmarjita. One boy is passing examination standing first class. Another boy is failing. Everyone is trying. Everyone should try his best. But he should be satisfied with the result which comes without any very much strain. Yadrachalava. Yadrachalava santushtam. This is lacking in present civilization. Not only at the present moment, but Krishna was speaking 5000 years ago. And before that, he spoke Bhagavad Gita millions and trillions of years ago to sun god. This is the way of material civilization or material condition life, competition. Either the world is run on the principle of communistic philosophy or capitalistic philosophy, it will never be happy. Here is the formula that everyone should be satisfied with the profit he can easily make. That's all. Yadrachalava. Not that everyone will have same profit. No. Don't worry. Not only you, but most people assume that the government is for people's material upliftment and reduce their pain. But that is all managed by higher authorities, by the laws of nature.
What then is the purpose of the political and social organization? What's the purpose of the whole ruling and Varnashram program?
Oh, I have already explained you that. That is Vishnu. The Varnashram system is entirely for Vishnu Aradhanam, worship of Vishnu. Varnashrama Achara Avata Purushena Parapuman Vishnur Aradhate.
How important it is to introduce this Varnashram for the society?
In the best interest of the human society, there must be such division of life. Otherwise, no social institution can grow in a healthy state. And in each and every one of the above mentioned divisions of life, the aim must be to please supreme authority of the personality of Godhead. This institutional function of human society is known as the system of Varnashram Dharma, which is quite natural for civilized life. The Varnashram institution is constructed to enable one to realize the absolute truth.
But in Varnashram, one class dominates over other. So, isn't Varnashram bad?
No, it is not an artificial domination of one division over other. When the aim of life, that is realization of the absolute truth, is missed by too much attachment for Indriya Priti or sense gratification, the institution of Varnashram is utilized by selfish men to pose an artificial predominance over the weaker section. In the Kali Yuga, or in the age of quarrel, this artificial predominance is already current. But the senior section of people know it well that these divisions of castes and orders of life are meant for smooth social intercourse and higher thinking of self-realization and not for any other purpose. Herein, the statement of Bhagavatam is that the highest aim of life or the highest perfection of life in the institution of Varnashram Dharma is to cooperate jointly for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. That is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.13. Worship of Vishnu is the ultimate goal of life. The Vedic principles of Varnashram institution are meant to organize a society to prepare everyone to worship Vishnu. And as I said, Varnashrama Achara Avata Purushena Paramapuman Vishnur Aradhate Panta Nanyat Tat Dosha Karanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashram. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is from Vishnu Puran 3.8.9. One must ultimately worship Lord Vishnu, and for that purpose, the Varnashram system organizes the society into Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmacharis, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasis. In the Vishnu Puran, it is stated that the entire Varnashram system is meant to satisfy Supreme Personality of Godhead. The rules and regulations set up for the execution of the duties of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, or Brahmacharis, Grihasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis, are all meant to satisfy the Supreme Lord. At the present moment, although the so-called Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras have lost their original culture, they claim to be Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras by birthright. Yet they have rejected the proposition that such social and spiritual orders are specially meant for the worship of Lord Vishnu. In the Bhagavad Gita 18.46 it stated, Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vadanti manavah. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all being and who is all pervading, man can, in performing his duties, attain perfection. The absolute truth is therefore the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and every living being is meant to satisfy the Supreme Godhead by performing his respective duties. Swakarmana Tamabhyarcha. Maharaj Prithvi wanted to introduce this formula amongst his citizens.
How does it help the citizens, the common man in the society?
See, the most important point in the human civilization is that while one engages in different occupational duties, he must try to satisfy the Supreme Lord by the execution of such duties. That is the highest perfection of life. Swanishtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. By discharging one's prescribed duties, one can become very successful in life if he simply satisfies the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The vivid example is Arjun. He was a Kshatriya. His duty was to fight, and by executing his prescribed duty, he satisfied the Supreme Lord and therefore became perfect. Everyone should follow this principle. Everyone should work hard and worship the Supreme Lord by the fruits of one's hard labor for existence, and that should be the motto of life. One should be careful to execute occupational service with faith in God in the proper way, and that will lead one gradually on the progressive march back to Godhead. Any questions regarding the principles and the political system?
Yes. Prabhuji, why is the society missing the aim of life?
Culture means knowing the aim of life. Without understanding the aim of life, a man is a ship without a rudder. But at the present moment, we are missing the goal of life because there is no head department in the society. The whole human society is now lacking real Brahmins to give advice to other departments. Unfortunately, as materialistic education advances, we are missing the aim of life.
And just to clarify, the purpose of Varnashram again, please?
The purpose of Varnashram is to enable people to become God conscious. Varnashrama acharavata purushena paraha puman vishnur aradate. The entire Varnashram system is intended to enable people to become Vaishnavas. Vishnurasya devata. When people worship Lord Vishnu as the Supreme Lord, they become Vaishnavas. Thus, people should be trained to become Vaishnavas through the system of Varna and Ashram. This is the purpose.
Oh, I see.
Anything else?
No, that's it for now.
Good. So, this was the principles of political system. We shall now see the practical aspects of the political system. Means, we saw why do we please Vishnu. Now, we'll see how do we do that practically. Let's see.
Yes.